Hey, y'all. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Thank you for tuning in for another Emotionally Unpacked. This is episode 2. Sorry, I got my tea going. My tea is ready. We're about to get ready and dive in. Hope everybody is enjoying this beautiful Sunday. So I had to start a little bit late today. That is a-okay. As long as we are here, we are ready to go and regroup from this last week. It's the beginning of the week. I have Alex joining me today for my special guest for today. She's going to be getting ready to hop on soon. Let me see if I can bring her in. Yeah, my curls is like all over the place today. Trying to get them together. But also, anybody that's tuning in, if there's any questions that you would like for us to talk about and dive into, please let me know and we will talk about it. Please let me know if there's any questions. For those that are just now tuning in with my podcast, Emotionally Unpacked is about whether it's single parents, talking about, working on emotional balance, whether it's dating, parent life, you know, single life, and also just mindful dating, like definitely for sure. Definitely mindful dating. I feel like nowadays, that's just something that's not really, talked about. Okay, Alex, let's see. We finna see what's going on. And say I sent you, and say I sent you something and it said I was trying to bring you on. So it it said I sent you it said I sent you a request, and then it says bring you in on video, and then for some reason it's not letting me. Try to send it to me again, Alex, and then we're gonna try it again. But yeah, so any questions that y'all want us to be able to discuss today, drop it in um, for questions, and then we'll make sure we answer them as we go. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm just so happy that it's Sunday. Sunday is the day to reflect, unwind, like I just be ready to go, get this together.
Okay, I made it. Hey,
Well,
y'all.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I don't know why. Sometimes when it's like trying to connect, it be like acting weird. I don't know why. Because the same thing happened on the first episode when I was trying to connect with Keish. It was like, acting weird. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Alex. I'm a mother, one and done.
One and done.
One and done. 12-year-old girl. Um, I work in medical. Eventually, probably going to be a nurse. Um, to get deep, I suffer from depression. So I'm basically mainly more trying to just be mentally stable. I'm a Gemini. That's pretty much it.
Oh, you Geminis. Cassidy. Oh, Jesus, we're going to get to that. Keep going.
Um, that's pretty much it. I think now I'm just starting to try to bring more awareness about mental health. A lot of people think it's just like a feeling that you can get over, and it's not that easy. Not that easy.
No,
You
not
you can
that
try to
easy.
shake it, but it somehow comes back. It's more so if you gonna push towards trying to fix it.
Definitely, definitely for sure. It's crazy that you said about with mental health because that's something, like I said, I always wanted, or the reason why, I started this podcast to just be able to have that emotional, outlet and being aware of your emotions as well too. And it's crazy that you say that about with depression because I feel like for women, black women
Mm-hmm.
especially, I'm not trying to, say all women don't go through it, but I do feel as though I hear a lot of black women that struggle with depression. It could be depression, anxiety, being stressed out. And I feel like that's something that, people need to be aware of,
Yeah.
it, you know, because a lot of people do suffer from that. So do you feel like for depression, do you feel like it more so was like it's always been like that, or do you feel like it was something like traumatic that made you, what I'm saying, like as far as like with depression?
I feel like for me, it's kind of always been like that, like since like a young age, like teenage years, and I just been like coasting by, like until like I feel like, and then coming into adult years, I feel like it's just gotten worse because of more stress in life and the way the world is.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely agree that I don't feel like a lot of black women like get in tune with it because like we were so programmed that we just got to be strong and we just got to do it, and
Mm-hmm.
we never really got a chance to take a step back and be like, I'm not okay. And that's why I feel like as a mother, I give my daughter the space to speak her piece because like in a sense we've been silenced for too long.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes. It's crazy you say that too because I feel like it's the same way uh with both my girls, especially with Cassidy, because they at the teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
And I can literally remember like when I was younger, I couldn't really talk about nothing. Like my parents was always at work or if something was going on, I just couldn't really speak my piece.
Yeah.
You know how like they'd be like, oh no, you
Right,
can't say
that
nothing, which
old school parenting.
yeah, yes, and it's like I get what they were trying to instill in us, but you're silencing us to the point to where we can't express ourselves on how we're feeling. So
Exactly.
we bottling all of that up. And I feel the same way. I feel like I struggled the same way in high school with like depression and stuff like that. Cause it's like it's certain things that you going on and you want to talk about it,
And you don't know how.
you don't know how, you don't know who you could talk to about it.
Right, you don't feel comfortable.
Correct. And it always starts at home. And as far as like who's in the household, who you're able to, what I'm saying, speak to.
Yeah.
And excuse me, depression can be hard though. I've dealt with it too. That last year I dealt with it. So like you said, people be so quick to like, oh, rushing out like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you get through it, but until you actually experience it, what I'm saying, it's different.
Yeah. So like I feel like for me, mine's is not like a switch in a
Right.
sense. Like I've been dealing with this for like 14, well, since I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I just kind of like been finding ways. It hasn't been like the best coping ways, but it gets to a point where you're like, okay, I got to do better. I got to find ways. Like I tell myself, like, I can't lead by example with my daughter if I'm not doing the stuff I'm telling her.
Yes, you right about
So
that.
yeah, it's a method to the madness, but it's literally like your choice. Like I'm taking it back to playing field. Make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.
Um, what's crazy? You say that. I tell that because I'm a manager, so I tell my staff that like when I'm sending out like notes and stuff, that literally sticks to me. And like my staff, they be looking at my message, they be like, I like that you say that, make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. And that's true, because
Yeah.
how you wake up, that
Mm-hmm.
sets the how you wake up, that sets the tone for the day. You know, it's just crazy because I don't know if I'm gonna ask Cassidy if her school does that, but that's literally stuck out to me. Out of all the 4 years of being in high
Yeah.
school, make it a great day or not, the choice is yours, because baby, people be trying
Yeah.
to mess up your day.
No, for sure. And always at any moment in time, hit the reset button. Start it over. Bring it back. It don't matter what time it is. Like if you morning, you get up and it's rough, hour later, hit the reset button. Throughout the day, reset button. You just kind of gotta like find that middle ground, like a balance where you could sit there and just be like, you know what? Like, cause a lot of times I'm always overwhelmed and overstimulated. But then it's that point where you just like breathe. Like that's the main thing, breathe. Because when you breathe, it gives you a second to sit back and think and be like, that wasn't even really worth all my anger
That was
or
not
my
even worth
sadness or
it.
my pain. And it's like we let ourselves get so consumed in like our emotions, but you can't let your emotions control you if you really want to work towards being greater. Because it's like, how can you be the best mother or the best friend or the best partner if you just can't control what you got going on?
Yep, you totally right about that. I feel like for me, when I went through my depression, I feel like it was affecting, not more so like affecting everybody, but it was affecting me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like nonstop, like you trying to find stuff to keep yourself busy, and then it's, you know, when your depression is very serious, when you're trying to do things to keep yourself busy, to not think about what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
then once you get that moment of not doing anything, you just
That's
start
when it all
crying.
hit.
It all hits you, and I hate it. I went through that. I would be constantly keeping myself busy, or I'll be at work. Everybody know I'm a workaholic. Be at work. Soon as I hit that car, the
Yeah.
all that emotion that I was feeling, all them thoughts come back. You know, it's hard. It's
It's
hard,
it's
and
really
nobody
hard.
won't even know it.
No, they don't. Like a lot of people look at me and they're like, "Oh my God, like you're so happy all the time." Like prime example, I went to work one day and I was like really sad. And my lead was like, "Why are you so sad?" And I'm like, "I'm always sad." And she's like, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "Yes, I am. I just do a really good job at hiding it." And that's exhausting. I feel like a lot of people have high functioning depression where you can't tell and you don't know. So then I got to the point where I got tired of struggling by myself. So
Right.
now it's time to speak up. It's time to find the help you need. It's time to find healthy coping ways.
Yeah.
It's just like it's time. It's like, how long do you want to feel this way when you can work towards actually living the life that you deserve, living the life that you imagine for yourself?
Yes. Yes. You're right about that. And I had to tell myself that I went through a depression for months. Months. I was always the type of person to be, constantly doing stuff. It was literally like when your depression hits bad, it's literally you just do what you need to do and you just go lay down.
Mm-hmm.
That was me. I was always the bubbly, like wanting to do stuff,
Mm-hmm.
take my girls places or go out with my friends stuff. Like I was literally going to work, going to bed. And I was just like, or laying down. I'm just like, just trying to regroup and,
Yeah.
rest. And it takes time. I feel like, especially if something traumatic in your life happened, it takes time,
Yeah,
to
most.
be able to regroup or, get over it, as far as like with being depressed or feeling depressed.
Yeah, and like with that being said, like the taking the time, like I feel like a lot of people don't realize that either. Like, you know, say you was like in a relationship and then it's been like 7 months or something, and everybody's like, oh, you should move on. Like, that's not how that works.
It's hard.
It's really hard. Everybody's healing process and grieving process is so different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I feel like a lot of people don't POV it because they
Mm-hmm.
haven't experienced it or they haven't dealt with it.
Yep.
And it's just like, if a person that's literally depressed and they come to you,
Right.
like,
Right.
take heed to that. Like,
Right.
hear them out. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. Like, they don't want you to, they want you to see the inner them. Like, you look at a person, you're like, oh, you would never know what they got going on. But whole time, like a week ago, they contemplated life.
Mm-hmm. Never, we wouldn't
And
even
you
know. Never
would
would even
never,
know.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, I think people should have like more of a like a open heart and open ear about it. Like, just don't brush them off like, oh, you just having a bad day. You don't know how many bad days I've been having. You don't know how long my bad days been going. So
Right.
it's just like, I think it's more so, it's not really that much talked about, especially in like the Black community and with women all together. And that's why I said, like, I give my daughter that safe space to actually talk. Like, I don't cut her off
Mm-hmm.
and I let her speak. If
Right.
whether she's wrong or right, I want her to feel like she was heard.
Yep.
And I feel
Yep.
like that's what we all kind of want, especially someone who's going through depression or anxiety. Like, hear me out. Just like,
Right.
hear
Hear
me
me
out.
out.
Don't tell me like, oh, I wouldn't get mad at that, or
Right.
that would make me feel this way.
Because we
It's
all
not about
different.
you. It's exactly. It's not even about you. And I feel like a lot of time with people with depression, they're not looking for like advice or opinions. They want you to just hear them. And I find it easy and helpful that when I speak to people and I'm like going through something, I'll literally just let them know. I just need an ear. But if I would like your advice, I'd like, I'm going through this. I need advice. And I think that's also helpful because a lot of people don't know what to do. They try, but they don't really know. Like, they don't want to like offend you or make you feel like you're not being heard. So they say whatever because they don't know what to do.
Right.
So it's just different ways where you can also help others understand you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's right. It's crazy you said that too, because that's something that needs to be said before you having a conversation with
Mm-hmm.
somebody. Like, look, I just need you to be a listening
Mm-hmm.
ear. I need your opinion on something. How would you feel? Or, that needs to be the start of the conversation, because it's crazy you said that, because I, even when I would like vent to like people or like my, close friends, like even about like my last relationship or something like that, what's everybody first thing? Well, just leave.
Right. You ain't think I thought of
Like,
that?
right, you don't think I thought of that? It's easier said than done. Like, and
A
then
lot of
sometimes, and it is good that you do hear opinions from other people, because then when you're dealing with something, now in your spare time you're regrouping, you like, okay, I did think about that, well, maybe they are right, and then you're analyzing everything that's going on. It might not hit you right away as far as what you need to do.
yeah,
Sometimes it just take time. It might take days, it might take weeks,
most
it might take
definitely.
months for you to finally be like, okay, now to analyze the
Mm-hmm.
situation, this is how I'm going to handle it, or this is how I'm going to move on. And it's just, it's crazier how, I don't know how you feel about your family, but I feel as though when I'm going through stuff, sometimes I can't go to them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just keep it to myself, or I might talk to my friends. And like I said before, that's where it starts sometimes, because
Yep.
it's like you be wanting to be like, hey, this is what's going on with me, but they be the first ones to judge sometimes,
Yeah.
and then throw it back in your face when something happens.
Exactly. And yeah, like you said, like, it does start from home in a sense. It does. And I feel like I'm kind of the same way. Like, with my family, like a lot of my family, did not know I felt this way for years until, like, you know, cousins started seeing me post my videos about it. And everybody was like, whoa, we didn't even know you were going through this. And it was like, well, when I tried to tell you, you laughed at me. You
Right,
thought it was a
exactly.
joke. You thought
You
this
thought
was
it was a
a game.
joke. You thought it was a joke. And it's
Just,
crazy you said that too, because even when I've heard, when you hear about, like you said, people being real depressed and they going through it, I'll see messages sometimes on Facebook or whatever, and they be like, I'm about to end it all. That's it. And everybody like, whoa, like now everybody's concerned. But you know what I'm saying? You'd be thinking like when I hear or see them on live or talking, they were like, ain't nobody hear me out. One nobody listening to me, one
mm-hmm.
nobody there for me. And it's like now you want to be, but it's like this is what I've been trying to tell y'all.
For
This
like
is what
ever.
I've been going
And
through.
that's exactly why I said, like, they just want to be heard. Like, whether it's just a sad day that at that time or a sad moment, they just want to be heard. And it literally only takes an ear, an understanding one. Like, whether you even, not even gonna say understanding one, like, it just takes an ear. Like, whether you feel them out or whether you kind of get it, they just won't, like, they don't want to keep that in. They don't want to keep it in. And
Right.
like, a lot of times saying things out loud is very helpful. Like, for me, I cry a lot, and I'm not ashamed to say that.
Me
But
too.
crying just releases all that stuff.
Me
And I'm gonna
too.
do it every time, and I'm not gonna be ashamed about it either. I also feel like what's not talked about is like healthy ways. Like, a lot of people with depression, like, we drown. We say like, I don't want to deal with my thoughts, I'm gonna go get a drink, or I'm gonna go take a smoke, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay to like actually sit there and feel your feelings,
Right.
because how can you understand your feelings if you just drowning in other things to just not think of this thing right now?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna take a toll, and I think that's a part of the healing process. Like, you have to find ways, like I always say, keep pushing, keep pushing. It's gonna be a light at the end of the tunnel, whether you think so or not. That tunnel can be long. Mine's been long. But I still believe that it will be. Like, if you really want to fight, you're gonna do it. It might take you a minute to realize that you want to do it. Like you said, like, it might take months for you to like sit back, like, this one person said this, and now it makes sense.
Now it makes
Now
sense.
it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you gotta try. You gotta fight.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't see the silent battles that people go through. They don't hear about it because it's silent. But once you recognize it, it's just like, be there for them, you know, make them feel heard and seen. And
Yes,
then that
definitely.
makes a huge difference, because that makes them want to fight more. Like, oh, you see me? You actually hear me? I'm going to keep going.
Right, definitely. I feel what helped me too with depression, or even before I went through depression, it's about you just, it's just, life is just about your mindset, period.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to wake up. I used to always tell everybody, I wake up, you have to think positive thoughts to get your day
Yeah.
going, to
Yeah.
try to start that day. So I feel like that's something that's always continued to help me, even when I was going through depression. I'm like, think about what you got. What's
Yep.
the positive
Yep.
things? You got a roof over your head. Your kids
Mm-hmm.
are well and good. You ain't got to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's always been something that's always helped me. Sometimes when I have gone through stuff, I have gone to therapy.
Oh,
Sometimes
yeah.
people, sometimes people are like therapy. Like, I feel like now therapy is more of a thing that people are like more
Yeah.
aware of. Back then,
Yeah.
everybody like, what you need to go to therapy for? You don't need to go to therapy. I've gone to therapy multiple times. I'm not scared to say I do therapy with my daughter. I've done therapy by myself. I've done therapy with a significant other before. Sometimes having that ear that don't know nothing
Mm-hmm.
about your life on the outside
Unbiased
looking
here.
in,
Mm-hmm.
on the outside looking in, it's important to be able to have that too sometimes for therapy, depending on, you know, what you're going through.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's helped. And then having people around that love you.
Oh, most
You need
definitely.
that.
Most definitely.
You need that. You need to be able to be around people that you love, and also getting back to things that make you happy. Things that
Yes.
make you happy. What drives you, you know, and like you said, I tell everybody, if you're not good and you're a parent, if you're not good, your kids aren't going to be good. So
Exactly.
you got to put yourself in a place of, look, I'm being watched, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And even regardless, I need to live my life to the best, even though I am struggling with this. And like you said,
Hmm.
it's a lot of people that are struggling with it. And I think more people just need to be more kind and
Oh,
being
most
more
definitely.
aware. Cause you know how, like you said, I'm a crybaby too. I don't care. I don't care. I'm a cancer. I don't care. I'm gonna express my emotions. Everybody will be like, "Oh, wow!" So you going all deep in? Yes, I am. I'm gonna tell you how I feel.
Exactly.
You either take my feelings into consideration or don't talk to me at all. I'm the type of person, if you can't feel me on my emotions or you're not trying to understand me, I can't be around you. I
Exactly.
can't, because there's a lot of people I've noticed from dating or friends, being around people, just period. Some people are not emotional at all. Like they
Oh,
really don't care.
yeah. Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Once I got older and got into the real world, and like I said, start dating or working and finding out friends and having conversations with people, I'm just like, y'all really don't care. And I told myself, I'm not gonna change for nobody. This
Oh,
is me.
never, never, never change. Like it's one thing to like work on yourself and better
Work
yourself,
on
but
yourself.
never
Yeah.
change you. Because you is who makes you you. And a lot of people are like emotionally detached. And I feel like once again that starts from home. Like we all come from different like families. Like I've been with people that like didn't get love, like they didn't get hugs, they weren't able to be vocal, and they brought that into
Mm-hmm.
their adult years, into their relationships, and now they're like, I've literally had like two people tell me like, I can't deal with your feelings because I can't deal with my own. But it's like,
Mm.
what steps are you going
That's
to take
deep.
to do that? Because like
Correct.
I grew up with love and hugs and kisses and being vocal and knowing how to express myself in that certain situation. And then you got other people that's like, well, and then you like, like you said, like you don't get it, you don't even care. Like
Right. You don't even get it. I
at
don't even
this
know why I'm
point,
even telling you this.
I'm gonna let you go over here and figure yourself out while I figure myself out. Because like, yeah, and then it's like sometimes that could be so draining and exhausting because you can lose yourself trying to show them all the love that they missed.
Yes, yes, yes. It's crazy you say that too, because I've been around people, um, that I could tell that didn't get that
Mm,
love and attention. Like even just like for me, I didn't really get that when I was younger, but I knew once I had kids or when I
yeah,
was in a relationship, I was gonna show that love. My girls know
yeah,
me or whoever I've been in a relationship with. If you going above, I'm gonna go above and beyond. And of course, I'm expecting the same thing.
right.
Whether it's, you know, being able to talk about my emotions, us just being able to talk. It's, and people don't understand too, you know, you're not trying to argue with them.
Oh
You
my God.
you're not
Yes.
trying to argue with them. I'm just trying to explain to you how I'm feeling. Either you're taking it how you want, but I'm just talking. I'm just trying to explain to you how I'm feeling. Now, when the argument starts is if I'm constantly keep having to tell you the same thing over and over and over again, we shouldn't even have to have that conversation. I shouldn't have to keep telling you the same thing over and over about how I'm feeling. At this, you're obviously not listening when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, my emotions. And people just need to be aware of that as well. I don't, like I said, I don't care if nobody else say, oh, you a crybaby, oh, you don't, you wear your heart on your sleeve, or you know, whatever the case may be. But some people need to see that emotion because they don't know, they never experienced it. And sometimes people get scared
Hmm.
because they never had nobody like that around them that actually
Right.
showed love, expressed their feelings, was lovable, romantic, or, you know, I don't know if you went out. I can't hear you. It sounds like you, or maybe it's me.
Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Yeah, my phone kept ringing and turned my mic off.
Oh.
I'm like, stop.
Yeah, I can see it now too. It's saying it's mute again. So I'm like, stop calling my phone.
This horrible. Like, stop. Like, I don't, that's another thing. I don't understand. Like, if I'm not answering my phone, clearly I'm busy. And if I'm ignoring it, and you calling me
And
5
you
times in
keep
a row, I'm
calling.
busy. Like, uh, people, you know what? You know what? Speaking of people, it's, let's get on co-parenting. Child. Who? I feel like
I already know. And it's funny you even say that because I literally posted something last night too because I was saying like I don't think people understand what like a single parent is, or you know what I'm saying, like you actually, being present in your kid's life.
yeah.
Co-parenting, woo.
Child, like it's really hard. It is really hard. It's not like I feel like for me it's a little bit of a struggle because you got a kid in two different households and like everybody, especially if like, your kids, parent, they're married or they with someone else, like everybody has their different ways. Even if you like talk about like, oh, like, hey, we gonna raise our kid like this,
Right.
that also makes a kid struggle more because it's like we agreed on this, but then you switch it up and it's like in this household you can do this, in this household you can do this, but then I feel like this here and I feel like this there, and then now when everything comes like crashing down and spiraling, it's like, why weren't we on the same page,
Mm-hmm.
especially if we already talked about it. And I think the biggest thing with everything, to be honest, communication. Like, I think
Communication.
that with just like parenting, like social skills, like with your kids, with your spouse, just actually, once again, being heard and seen. Like
Yes.
that's it. That's it. Like, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to hear you out, whether I agree with you or not, and do the same. And I feel like a lot of problems and situations could be solved with just like a simple conversation of letting one speak, hearing them out, and not even hearing to respond, but hearing to understand.
Listening to understand. Yep.
We could all be so great.
I think that's the issue with a lot of people. Is it's the communication. Communication has always been the number one thing that I always stress to anybody that I've dated, um, friends, family. Like communication is number one for me. So when the communication is not like how I like it, I just be like, I can't do this no
Yeah,
more. Like I can't,
like
and I have to distance myself from certain people like that because I'm like, I can't have you around me like that. I can't have you around my kids like that.
yeah,
This is going to be a constant battle. You know, you can listen, like you said, it's listening to understand.
right, and
Sometimes
not
it
to
don't
respond.
always have to be. Yeah, sometimes it don't have to be a it has to be a response. I just think sometimes people just be like, they be waiting. They be like, are you done? You
Right,
finished?
that's what I'm saying. Listening to respond and not to understand. It's like you sitting there and you're just like you said, like, okay,
You
you done.
waiting.
Now it's my go, and it's like, did you even hear me?
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like a lot of people, I think that's just the struggle with today's society, with parenting,
Mm-hmm.
just in general. Like you said, I tell my girls, like, even though sometimes I be trying to tell myself, like, I just be like, ugh. Like, when sometimes when they're talking about something, but I'm like, they gotta be able to speak their mind. Hey, this was bothering me. I was upset about this because sometimes adults see kids do that and they think about, oh, you being disrespectful,
Mm-hmm.
you being rude. No, they're not. They're just trying to express to you about how that made them
Right.
feel.
It's like you got to remember, like they human. They just little. They little humans that's gonna be big humans, and it's like, how do you want them to go out in this world, like if you don't give them that space to have that safe space to speak? Because that can
Yep.
happen anywhere. Like they can't speak up in class. They don't want to participate because they don't want to, or they get
Mm-hmm.
a job and the manager is running over them and they feel like they can't say anything because they felt like that since little. Like, I gotta just be quiet, I gotta just shut up, like I gotta keep it to myself. And it's like, it's just like, just get them space. Like I said, like with my daughter, like when she gets in trouble, she'll ask me, like if I take something away, why'd you, she's like, she'll ask, can I ask you why? Yes, you can. I will tell you, you did this, that, and the third, and this is the consequences to your actions. With that
Right.
being said, hand it over. And then she might be upset, but she'll be like, I understand. Like they
Mm-hmm.
just trying to figure it out, just like us.
Yep. It's crazy you said that too, because Cassie does that to me. She'll be upset. She's like, why did you do this? Or Mom, what's going on? Why did you? I'm like, I told you to do this, or you know why I did. We had this discussion about this. So until I see a change with this is what they need to see that, because I feel like that was a struggle for me until adulthood. I would be quiet about certain
Mm-hmm.
things, and like I said, not speak my mind. That needs to be something communication. And
It
now
be.
with social media, even sometimes that makes it even harder for people to communicate, you know what
Oh yeah,
I'm saying, with each other.
yeah. We gotta bring that communication back, cause some gotta shake.
Bring communication back. That's what
Some gotta shake, cause like,
something gotta shake. Something gotta shake. And that's how I say it. Sometimes when I be around people, I'll be like, man, I'm talking too much. And I'll be like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. They don't understand. They don't get it. They never experienced that type of communication with people, because sometimes all they was around was just people
right,
fighting. It's like I said, it's a difference between fighting. If I'm screaming and yelling at you, that's me trying to argue with you. If I'm just
right,
talking to you
exactly,
just like this, that's not arguing. That's just you communicating to each other.
exactly,
But sometimes, even too, if you might get a little bit loud, that's okay. Sometimes people do that. Sometimes people need to understand how they're hearing. Some people talk loud when they talk.
yeah,
Some people got facial expressions. I've even heard people, which pisses me off so much, is when I'm talking to someone and they laugh. And I'm talking to you about something serious.
right.
That's the ultimate. I feel like that's so disrespectful.
Oh, most definitely.
What are you laughing
For
at? So you're
real, like at
laughing at
this
my
point.
emotions.
So you gonna sit there and
Pretty much.
laugh at my pain? Like what?
Laughing. You're literally sitting here laughing at my pain. And then that's why I think sometimes people too, or I have shied away from not, communicating. And then sometimes if I do feel myself boiling up or getting mad or getting upset, I just be like, you know what, I need a second. Just give me a minute. Let me regroup, because that can avoid
Yeah,
miscommunication too.
right. Because at that point, I might say something that I really don't mean because now I didn't take that breather that I needed. And it could be like so much better. Like, I've dealt with people, and that's another thing. I feel like, especially like with any situation, like friends, relationship, situationships, like if a person says like just give me a breather, like let them take that breather. Don't like keep egging it on. Like
Don't egg it on.
don't be
Yep.
like, don't gaslight me. Don't force me to keep talking about it, because now at this point I'm not even thinking of a solution. Now I'm pissed and all I see is red.
All
And now
I
we ain't
see is
gonna get
red.
nowhere because you didn't let me take that breather. Don't say, okay, let's keep going, let's keep going, let's keep going. That's just like if you running and you say you need a glass of water. Like, you gonna keep making me run, or you gonna let me sip this water real quick?
Yeah, you're right about that. I just think, like I said, I just think people need to. I think everybody just take away from this today is communicate better, be aware. Just
Yeah.
we all are going through something, and depression is hard. Depression is hard. All we can do is try to learn how to, like you said, deal with it better.
Mm-hmm. And most
People do.
definitely therapy works because they're also giving you different tools that you didn't think about, or someone you talked to didn't think about. You're like, that might work. And that's why I said that when I am talking to somebody about how I feel, that's why I state, like, I don't want advice, I don't want your opinion, or I just want your ear. Because now they know where to go from that. Because I find it for me, like, if you don't say those things and you just talking to people, they just start word vomiting. They just start spitting stuff out at you,
Yeah.
and you're just like, I ain't even want this. But how did they know?
Right.
Because one, you come to them and you talking about your emotions and you're confiding in them, and they're just trying to comfort you. But at the same time, you like, I didn't want none of this. But once again, how would they know? Like,
Right. Exactly.
you got to, it's just different approaches to everything. And I feel like we just got to find the right tools and what works for us and the people around us, and things will get a little bit better day by day.
So happy you came on today. I feel like this was needed. Like
Yeah,
I said,
I agree.
to be able to talk about this subject, because like I said, it's just a lot of people, anybody that is tuning in that is struggling with depression or anxiety, or feeling like they can be able to communicate with somebody, like have that have that listening ear for people. you
Mm-hmm.
you
And
got to
always be
be able to
kind.
do that. Yes, be kind to people. That's one thing I always strive to do. What, like I said, whether it's family, friends, my kids, like you got to be kind. You never know. You never
Mm-hmm.
know what the next person might be going through.
Oh, most definitely. And always remember to give grace to others and to yourself. Like, give grace.
Yes, be happy. Just, how can I say, as far as like, be proud of how far you come and
Ooh.
how you still going,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what. I tell myself I'm still pushing, no matter what I'm trying to get through.
Yeah,
Even when I was struggling with depression, be proud of yourself that you keep going. You keep
exactly.
going. You be strong.
Just keep going. Like I said, it's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And like you said, just be proud of yourself. Even if it's the little things. I rolled out of bed today. You ain't crawled though. You rolled,
Yep.
but
Yep.
you
Or you
standing
didn't
though.
cry about, that one situation that you really have really been
Mm-hmm.
struggling with. And I remember once when I got out how the deep depression I was in, I was so proud of myself. I was like, I didn't cry about that today, or I didn't really think about that today. Like, I was so proud of myself making those steps.
A win is a win. The
A win is a
smallest
win.
ones, it's still a win.
A win is a
A
win.
win is a win.
Definitely, for sure.
I don't care if you said I ain't feel like walking. You walk
You
though.
walk though. A win is a win.
Even if you crawl, you still got to where you need to be. Take those small wins and be proud of yourself, and find ways that help you so you can help your family, your children, and the people around you.
Yes.
And just remember, like, you great, you matter, you still here, whether you want it to be or not. But you got this. Once again, day by day. It can be second by second. You still doing it. You made it to a minute. Be proud.
Yes, definitely. And I'm proud of you for even coming on here too, and being able to talk, what I'm saying, like, talk about, and for people to be aware of, depression, and just being able to emotionally put yourself out there for people to be able to see that.
Yeah. That was scary. Was very nervous, but like I find that, like, once I start making my videos, like I said, like I wasn't making them to just like for some sympathy. I was making them for me.
Yes.
So once I feel better, I can go back and be like, man, you were so low. Look at you
Look at
now.
you now.
But
Yeah.
like
Hey,
if
see
it
it.
I said, but like, I just feel like, if it helps somebody, then that's amazing. But at the moment, I'm trying to help me too.
Yes, yes. Being able to help you, and then, like I said, being able to help somebody else. That's why I want people to be able to take away from me doing my podcast or showing videos. Because even like the one I did the other day, everybody was like, "Dang, you okay?" I'm like, "I'm okay," but I'm doing this so people can be aware that, hey, I'm struggling. I could be struggling. We all struggling. We all struggling with something. But
Mm-hmm.
just be aware that we trying to find a balance,
Yes.
trying to find an emotional balance, a life balance. Like that's
Right.
what it's about.
Definitely. This was lovely.
I love you. I
I
appreciate
love you
everybody
more.
that tuned in with us today. And yeah, emotionally unpacking. We unpacked a lot.
We did. Hey, but it was needed. I hope I could be some help to someone. Um, Take the steps you need. Journal, meditate, get help, talk to someone, get back into the things that make you happy. Be
Yes,
better for yourself so you can be better for others.
yes, definitely.
Day by day,
And
y'all.
what's the last thing? Make it a great day or not?
The choice is yours.
The choice is yours. Definitely. I told you that's gonna stick out every time. All right,
Every
love you,
time, every
friend.
time. Well,
Love
thank you
you.
for inviting me. I love you more. Have a great Sunday and relax. Take it easy. Take a load off. Don't forget to breathe.
Yes, don't forget to breathe. I appreciate you. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We wrapping this up for emotionally unpacked. If you would like to, if you didn't get a chance to see the full episode, I have been putting the full episode on my YouTube channel, Vibe with KB. So I will be posting it today. Please make sure you like, subscribe, send stars, just so I can be able to keep this going on Sundays. I just love that I'm able to just do this, do this podcast and be able to send out love to, you know, all the women out there. And like I said, from this episode, letting people, be aware of people going through depression and communication. Just be that listening ear sometimes. Sometimes that's all someone need to be able to get by some days. So, all right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later.